Testing, testing.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing.
Is that the same lyric last time?
It's exactly the same, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I think last time was just a bit beaky. I think it was more your one.
My one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Testing, 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 testing.
Is that any better? Turn it down 1. Yeah. Can you hear, Ari?
Yeah. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Well, hasn't the last 18 hours changed the context of this match dramatically? We're preparing for the story of the day to be a Hume City side vying for a place on top of the table, looking to make it 6 wins in a row. But with the news of South Melbourne coach Sneža Kahajic being relieved of his duties effective immediately, the whole complexion has changed. My name is Aris Tamatakos. I'm joined in the gantry by Mark Ivkovic. Ivkar, what a whirlwind last 18 hours or so we have had.
Yeah, definitely something nobody saw coming, really. It's been the talk of the town, especially this morning. A lot of phone calls I've been taking, so very, very interesting news that's come out of South Melbourne. Obviously, no one knows the full story there. Sam Putakidis, the assistant coach to Sneža, has taken the team this afternoon. And yeah, it was already an interesting game prior to that news, it's just gotten even more interesting.
It will be one to watch, developing story that I'm sure more news will come out in the coming hours and coming days. Lineups for both teams are in. We'll start with the home side. Chris Oldfield in goal, Taylor Shrivers, Kota Kador, Braden Spink and Aaron Calver make up the back four. Steve White and Aidan Coyne just behind Aki Tsukamoto, Munib Adis, Adisa Bayu and Josh Bingham make up the front line with Josh Wilkins, Joshua Kane, Birkin Kurda, Damon Camilleri, Frank Basassa and Chris Engelhart on the bench. And for the away side, Javi Lopez in goal, Jake Pater-Andrews, Tom Yanakopoulos, Marko Jankovic and Jordan Lampard make up the back four. Sebastian Pasquale, Alex Menelau and Yuki Uchida. In the midfield, Noah Bernardo starts up front with Aaron Cox and Max Mikola either side. On the bench, Luka Kovney, James Lackey, Andrew Mezzaruni, Charlie Leach and Ilya Shalamov Trinkova. I believe that's how you pronounce that. As well as Jordan Squibble, the number 9 on the bench. So, yeah, it's almost kind of plans, notes, ideas of what this game would have been has completely gone out the window. South Melbourne obviously in a position now where they need to start winning and need to start winning immediately. Hume know what they need to do, a place on top spot for the time being up for grabs. Do you think what's happened in the last 18 hours will change the way both teams will come into this one?
Yeah, it could go one of two ways for South Melbourne today. They could be galvanised by this and the playing group gets around each other and lift, or they could just completely fall apart without Sinisha there. He's done so much for them in the past 12 months and got him to a very high level. Just on that team news, probably the biggest out there is Godfrey DeBelle for Hume City, not in the squad today.
He has provided an impact all season, Godfrey DeBelle, so out of the squad will be Josh Bingham leading the line. He's a well-known figure around these parts, so we know that he'll be making an impact, and he does straight away with the ball out wide to Adis. Turning inside of Lampard, left-footed effort, forcing Javi Lopez into an immediate save.
So that's the start you want if you're Hume City, getting on the front foot early. Good strike by Adis. Even better save by Lopez.
What a hit, nice and early.
Give Lopez a bit of confidence too. He did concede a cheap goal in that OFC final last weekend.
First corner of the afternoon. Delivered right onto the head of Javi Lopez, who gets a double fist away. Alfred Cheetah, just anywhere will do.
That's another factor as well, Ari. How do South bounce back from losing that OFC final last week? They put so much effort and time into it.
Was that 2-1 loss to Auckland? A very, very late goal from Yuki Uchida. Gave them perhaps a sniff in the last 30 seconds of the game, but it wasn't meant to be. And he was involved early with the clearance, but now it's Braden Spink with studs on the ball, waiting for the play to unfold ahead of him. It looks to be Noah Bernardo starting up front with Uchida and Pasquale slightly behind him as the ball searching for Taylor Shrivers on the left side will find him. Max Mikola in pursuit. Shrivers back for White. So Hume looking to control possession nice and early, really dictate play. A spraying ball out for Calver, back to Chris Oldfield. Cheetah pressing. Loose ball by Calver, but winning it brilliantly. And Kador can break forward. Ball in between the lines now, trying to find Josh Bingham. Lopez coming a long way out of his goal and doing enough to set the clearance out.
That's the danger for South Melbourne this afternoon, is Hume City attracting that high press that South Melbourne tend to go for. And then with that ability to go over the top with the pace they've got, that's where Dembele is a big loss today, because he's so dangerous at running in behind. Bingham, obviously a different type of profile.
Probably more balls to his chest, looking to feed off him with the pace of Adis and Bayu either side of him. Kador looking to manufacture something, but Cox tracking back and defending well. Kota Kador been a real standout for Hume so far this season. His throw into the feet of Bingham. Adis couldn't quite. Pasquale coming through, twisting and turning, has Cox in support, uses him. Back out for White. Spraying ball, searching Shrivers, and finding Taylor Shrivers just ahead of Max Mikola, but his ball across the face of goal cleared easily away by Tom Yanakopoulos. Forward for Cheetah. standing on the ball, twisting and turning, in for Pasquale, and now South Melbourne's turn to maybe dictate a little bit of possession, dictate the tempo of the game.
I don't expect too much to change, really, with the way they approach the game. Sam Pettiquettes has been there the whole time next to Sinisha. So I don't think you can really change too much in 18 hours.
Oldfield's long clearance. Yiannakopoulos and Bingham in a bit of a tussle. Bingham wins out, but Pasquale gets there ahead of him. Bayou turning outside of Painter Andrews. And back to Steve White. How will the... Ivka, question for you. How will the kind of mentality of the South Melbourne players... What would have changed, in your opinion, heading into this one, considering the news that broke last night?
I reckon a bit of confusion for the playing group as well. I don't think they would have seen that coming either. So probably just, if they concede an early goal here today, they could fall apart, because I don't think they'll be mentally here for the first 20 minutes until this game really gets going.
Well, Hume have started the better side. Massive chance early, forcing Javi Lopez into a fantastic save to tip over his crossbar. As it looks to be Menelau dropping deep in between the centre half, so almost a pseudo back three in possession, with Lampard dropping infield. Yiannakopoulos forward, Pasquale out for Painter Andrews. Has Mikola, goes in his direction, but Shriver's getting across. Shepherded towards the byline, but wins the ball back into play, and the flick on from Bayou finds Tsukamoto. And his ball out wide is beautiful for Munibatis, who has the pace to burn. Has already had a big opportunity so far today. Makes his way into the box. Holds towards the byline, cut across the face. And Adisa Bayou, rather, just millimetres away.
It's really interesting how Lampard had tucked so far in. He was tracking Adus, but lost him when he made that run out wide.
And Bernardo now on the counter-attack. Has been brought down by Braden Spink. Referee adamant there was no foul there. So yeah, a little bit maybe of a change in the in-possession structure for South Melbourne. Lampard looking to drop deep. Menelau tucking in into between the two centres, and even out of possession now. It looks to be almost like a back three, with Lampard on the near side pushing very far up.
He's pushed very, very high up to try and suffocate Hume.
Experienced player Jordan Lampard, well versed at this level, as Bernardo looking to hold it up. Does win it out on the ground for the cheater. Pasquale, the cheater. Cox. First real look for him this afternoon. Onto his left foot. Across the face of goal. And was it tipped away by Chris Oldfield in the end. Painter Andrews picking it up now. Inside for Pasquale. Held by Coyne. Painter Andrews. Rifle ball into the box is not bad. Comfortable for the experienced man between the sticks.
It's good work by Cox. Striving at that defence. Do you think Oldfield got his hands onto that?
First real involvement for Chris Oldfield. This afternoon, both keepers forced into exuberant dives and exuberant saves early on in this one. It's Menelau. Couldn't quite win it off Tsukamoto, who can break forward. Has a inside ball for Adisabayu. Is good. Gets onto his right foot. Can he get a shot out? Brilliant. Tracking back from Yiannakopoulos, but it falls for Kador. Tries to slip it through for Adis. Mixed up with Lampard across the face and cleared off the line. Millimetres away from Josh Bingham. I think it was Painter Andrews. And what a sliding doors moment early in this one.
Josh Bingham, what an opportunity. You've got to put that in the back of the net. It's a bit of a scramble there. Deuce did well to get it across, but I think Bingham was expecting it to come to him. Kind of got stuck under his foot. Any sort of right connection there, and it's 1-0 Hume. Struggling a little bit out there, Lampard. There's a couple of positional errors he's been in this afternoon where Adus has been able to get in behind him.
Jankovic looking for a cheater, but pressed heavily by Calva and conceding the throw. That pace on either side for Hume will provide big area of concern for the South Melbourne back four, especially if they will continue with this hybrid back three rolls in and out of possession. Lampard winning it with his head down for Pasquale. There's a tangle off the ball with the Cheetah and Coyne, and the Cheetah still down and in some pain by the looks of things as the ball goes all the way back for Lopez, who will look to potentially kick the ball out of play. Play continues. Yanakopoulos short inside for Menelau. That'll be an interesting midfield battle. Coyne, Cheetah, Pasquale, White, talent in midfield as Menelau. Costly turnover in possession now for a disobey. You get it from White, driving towards Yanakopoulos with pace, but just running ahead of the ball. White searching ball over to the near side. Lampard getting across and clearing it back out to White. Short for Kador. Tsukamoto closed down by Menelau and forward for Cox. Tries to find Menelau on the return, but Tsukamoto stepping in front. Inside for Coyne. 1-2 with a Disabayu. Out wide for Adis. Turning onto his left. Having an effort across the face of goal and nearly a Disabayu at the back post. Probably wasn't his intention, but nearly manufactured something out of nothing.
Yeah, Hume really looking dangerous when they're going forward this afternoon, giving this South Melbourne defence a lot of headaches. You speak of that midfield battle, Hume still got Burkhart Kurta on the bench available to come on. Obviously was missing last week. He's been integral to their success this season.
Pretty handy player to have coming off the bench in the last 30 minutes.
Engelhardt as well.
Bernarda winning it ahead of Coyne. Out for Cheetah. Chasing his Kador. A couple of hands in the back, a foot across. And it will be a free kick for South Melbourne in a very dangerous area for a cross or shot into the box.
There's been a lot of those pushes in the back and aggressive fouls. Probably the first one that Adam Bafka's called. He's probably seen enough of it.
Looks to be Aaron Cox over it. Half-time substitute in the OFC final a week ago. Couldn't quite make the impact that he was after off the bench, so maybe with a full 90 or as close to it, he can provide a moment of magic, and it could come from this set piece. Bernardo at the near post. Tall timber at the back with Yanakopoulos and Jankovic. One-man wall in Tsukamoto. Cox's ball in. Cleared away by Coyne. Out for Mikola. Back for Cox. Closed down by Tsukamoto. Cox turning onto his right. Delivering a ball into the box. Cleared away comfortably in the end by White. And Adis, beautiful ball through for Bayu, who has meterage to use and does. Yanakopoulos chasing back awfully forlornly and trying to break into the box. He's Bayu. But Painter Andrews in support, doing really well. And conceding a corner with a ricochet.
Yanakopoulos did well to keep pace with Bayu there. He thought he was away, but he got his head down and just did enough to keep his distance with him. Allowed Painter Andrews to come across.
The threat on the counter-attack is ever so dangerous with the pace that Hume have.
Yeah, it should work in their favour this afternoon with the way South's set up.
Tsukamoto over the dead ball. In the direction of Bingham, couldn't quite get there. Still a chance as the ball falls into the box, but Pasquale can break forward now. Ucheda and Mikola. And almost 3v5. Ucheda, can he find the ball to Mikola? He does. Inside for Pasquale. Back for Ucheda, and has Bernardo central and uses him. Chance for South Melbourne potentially on the counter-attack. Cox, 1-on-1 with Hayden Coyne. Cox does have the pace to burn. Turns onto his left. Gets a firing delivery across the face. And just behind Chris Oldfield, out for a goal kick. But the counter-attack for both sides looking dangerous early.
Cox looking dangerous early as well. He's had a bit of joy on this left-hand side. It's a couple of dangerous balls inside that Hume City defensive area.
Extremely high aggressive press from South Melbourne. Almost forcing Hume into that long ball. Yanakopoulos and Bingham, it's a 3-on-3 scenario. Painter Andrews coming across. Had to win that, and he did. Kador tries to play it forward, but intercepted by Lampard. Has Cox on the overlap. Has Pasquale on offer. Forward for a cheater. Back for Pasquale. The dueling 21s go at it. And it's the away side that get on top in that outcome. But a falls for White. Got it from Shrivers. And his short ball for Bayou. Tries to find Tsukamoto, but stepping in front was Painter Andrews. Bernarda, Uchida. Turns back onto his right. And falling over the ball and collides with Bayou. Both players down, but both look to be okay as the ball from Tsukamoto tries to slip it in behind. But Lampard again occupying a pretty proactive, aggressive position on his opponent and winning back-to-back duels or reading the play well. Ball across the face from Mikola. That only falls to the path of Adis.
Even Peter Andrews is coming across into that midfield area too at times. So obviously South's trying to really overload that central area. It's where Hume has been dangerous this season.
White. Out wide for Shrivers, who has plenty of room to work with. Closed down by Painter Andrews. Back for White. In for Coyne. Has room to move. Can unload a shot if he wants to, and does! And an effort not far away at all.
Not a bad effort there from Coyne. Given a lot of space to drive at that South Melbourne defence.
Just fading across the face. Jankovic. Cox. Closed down by Cador and Leighton Schertzag penalised.
Slowly settling into the game, South Melbourne. As Hume started all guns blazing.
They have worked themselves into it. And now looking to control a bit of possession with Yannikopoulos spraying ball out wide in search of Cox, but stepping in front was Cador. And Adis now can potentially catch out in transition the inverted fullback of Lampard. And now he has space to work with here as Cox loses his man in transition. Ball across the face all the way through for Bayou. But just cleared away in the nick of time from Pater Andrews. Calva. It's almost another pseudo back three in possession from Hume with Steve White in that left centre back role. Adis looking for Tsukamoto in between the lines, but between Menelau and Jankovic they work it out and can rebound through Pasquale. Closed down by Bingham but turns away from him. Forward for a cheater. Searching ball for Cox, but wasn't on the same page, and Cador can let that roll all the way out for a corner, or for a throw-in rather.
Surprising how disjointed South Melbourne's looking at times in possession. Just a little bit of lack of ideas going forward, a lot of turnovers with some unnecessary passes. I expect a team that's been together for quite some time now, playing a lot of football, to be a little bit more connected.
Bernarda, chance to get the ball across the face. Uchida with an effort.
Yeah, just didn't get himself set there, Uchida, did he? He's always on the back foot.
Went back on it and into the bushes. Hate to be the one retrieving that one.
Yeah, I don't think that one's coming back.
So interesting setup, and has been for almost all of the goal kicks so far today. It's basically a 3-on-3 when Oldfield launches the ball long. And it puts a lot of emphasis on Bingham winning that header, which he doesn't on that occasion, but the second ball's still on offer. Tsukamoto couldn't quite find Bingham on the return, but it's going to be a constant threat if they continue with that setup.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before Hume City work it out to get a couple of numbers around Bingham to win that second ball. And they've got a lot of room to break.
Loose pass from Pater Andrews. And Coyne has Adis. And uses him. Back for Cador. So it seems to be Hume content with controlling possession, waiting for the opening, searching for that right time to play those balls in behind, use their pace, and potentially that is that time. And it's Bingham on the end of the ball from Coyne. Flag stays down. Cador couldn't quite get it from the pass from Ada, stepping in front was Cox, clearing it. Back there, Coyne, Calber.
So if you look at the way that South Melbourne defensive line's set up, it's like a back six at the moment. Mikola and Cox tucking in as the fullbacks.
Stepping in front, Yankovic reading it beautifully. And Azuchita, and the pass slightly behind him, but still good enough to get to him and turn on his right, but closed down by Kota Cador. What a beautiful piece of defending that was. Snuffing out a potential attack before it's even started. He's been so impressive this season. One of the real standouts.
Yeah, he has been. It's really dangerous going down that flank. He's obviously good defensively, but he's offered a lot offensively as well for Hume. Hume City won't like this, controlling the possession. It's they've been impressive when they've been able to steal the ball off an opponent and then break with pace. Haven't really seen them in a game where they've been the ones dictating possession and controlling it.
With the talents of Curto and Engelhardt on the bench, it can change on a dime. So it'll be interesting to see how the first maybe hour, 70 minutes of the game unfold before those two are inevitably introduced, you'd think. Yiannopoulos out wide for Mikola. Dropping inside was Painter Andrews. So it is that three at the back with Menelaw dropping in between the two centre halves. So a little bit of a structural change under the new interim coach, Lampard, fouled by Bingham. It is something that we haven't seen under Senisha Kahajic, this kind of back three, inverted wing backs. Lampard and Pat Andrews were both playing more traditionally, but in the last 18 hours or so, a pretty big structural change.
Yeah, Painter Andrews and Lampard, both very aggressive fullbacks, like down the wing. It's usually the winger that inverts it and goes inside. But they've obviously seen an issue with Hume City's midfield and need Painter Andrews and Lampard to tuck in.
Aggressive press by Pasquale. A little bit disjointed, allows Coyne time and space in the middle of the park. Getting back in numbers. So South Melbourne are defending relatively well in this when the ball's in this stationary sort of passive build-up from Hume with the numbers that they're flooding back. There's Calvin now picking it up forward for Cador, turning inside of Cox and looking for the overlap run, which finds Addis. Closed down by Lampard, left-footed ball into the box. Bingham with the header and clawed away by Lopez. Still a chance now for Bayou. Can he get his way into a cross or a shot across the face? Couldn't quite. Cleared away by Painter Andrews in the end, and Mikola picks it up. Still not out of it, but maybe they are through Pasquale. Bernarda looks for the return pass, wasn't on, and White could pick it up. Another massive chance for Hume.
What a save from Harvey Lopez. Bingham couldn't do anything more. Perfect header. He thought it was going to hit the back of the net. Then out of nowhere, Lopez comes sprawling across. Incredible save.
He's keeping the away side in this one. Two massive saves early on. It could be called upon once again here. Bingham gets the ball from Calver. Coming across Yiannopoulos, clearing it convincingly out for a corner. Two biggest chances of the game for the home side. One very early on through Minibadis.
Both those chances coming from that right-hand side into the box as well.
Corner ball. All the way through to the back. Two headers onto that. And it was off a blue shirt last, says the referee, no, out for a corner on the far side now. So they are pressing. Tsukamoto will go over this one to take, you'd think. The aerial threat is there for both sides, really. Yanakopoulos, Jankovic for the away side. Bingham, Calver, Spink. Calver, 2 goals this season for the big centre half. There's going to be a target for this ball in from Tsukamoto. Does chip up ever so slightly, falls for Addis. Ball into the box is not bad. Bingham with a flick on again. More of a routine save this time for Javi Lopez, but the threat is persisting.
Yeah, spot on, Ari. He looks dangerous this afternoon, doesn't he, Josh Bingham? It's getting into the right areas.
Man of his size and stature, you just can't give like half a yard in the box. You'll jump higher than most, and he has shown time and time again. Maybe not so far this season, only the 1 goal, but he's gone past. Has proved himself to be a potent goal scorer at times. Pasquale out wide, Peter Andrews, and here's the aggressive overlapping run. Numbers in the box now for South Melbourne. Peter Andrews, ball right into the body of Taylor Shrivers, and a corner for the away side now.
Just hesitated for a second there, Peter Andrews, to get that ball into the area.
There's that marauding run from those fullbacks, using their pace, their power to get some opportunities going forward, as Lampard will step over this corner. Ball to the back post, Mikkel is there. Maybe workshop that one on the training park midweek.
Well, we were here a couple of weeks ago for the Hume Avondale game, and the wind wreaked havoc in that one. It's a bit blustery now, isn't it?
It's almost swirly in a sense. Like in the Avondale game, it was very aggressive to the left-hand side. So it's a little bit more of a swirly conditions, I feel, up in the gantry. Bayou trying to flick it past Payne Andrews, but lost his footing. Inside for Cox, turning away from Coyne, but Coyne winning it beautifully and laying it off at Tsukamoto. And Kador now. Adis. They work it back. And Kador winning the 50-50 over Cox brilliantly. And getting it back. Couldn't quite find the ball inside, but Rachida does well and skips past Kador. Maybe spent after a couple of repeat efforts. Turning back inside for Cox. Pasquale, Mikola on the far side is on and he's used. Back inside for Pasquale. And he can create something out of nothing with his talents. The ball from Peter Andrews looking for a cheater, but the flag is up on the far side. First offside of the afternoon.
It's not really posing too much of a threat. Attacking was South Melbourne. They're probably just more content on sitting back, waiting for Hume to start opening themselves up.
They seem to be looking for those balls in behind. A Cheetah hasn't really gotten himself into the game with the talents that he possesses. Was pivotal in South Melbourne's Australia Championship win back into last year. Was very impressive in the NPL season as well. Jankovic down, Cox. Inside for Cheetah, stepping in front of White and winning the foul. Maybe it's dead balls and set pieces that could be the catalyst for some momentum for South Melbourne as Jankovic and Yanakopoulos make their way forward. So this will be delivered into the box through Lampard. Not one man behind Jordan Lampard. You'd hope this delivery is good, otherwise he would be coming back with interest. Dinked into the box by Lampard. In the direction of Yanakopoulos, cleared away by Shrivers. Peter Andrews reads the ball well in the air. Back for Menelau. Pasquale turning back onto his left. Bernarda. Pasquale. Cox. Closed down by Cador. Driving forward is Aaron Cox onto his left. Ball across the face. Had some venom behind it. But Aaron Calver reading it ever so well. Launching it back out for a throw.
It's all of South's best attacking movements down this left-hand side.
The trademark long throw on offer from Max Mikola.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll enjoy it. This ground's a long run-up for him.
Some breeze to work with as well. Goes short this time for Lampard. Catching Hume off guard. Lampard's ball into the box is not bad. It was in a beautiful area, but cleared away by Calver. And Addis winning the foul on the edge of the box. So we honor the threat that Max Mikola does pose with those long throws, but it's almost like a game of bluff. Does he go long? Does he go short? Do they get the ball into the box? It's almost like a double-edged sword in a sense. Two threats in one.
Yeah, for me, he just needs to launch it into the area. It's like a short corner that I absolutely hate. And you've got that weapon of a long throw, just use it.
It's come up clutch in the past, most notably in the Australia Championship semi-final against Heidelberg. Leading to a Manny Agwek goal to send them through to the final. Lampard down. Yanakopoulos clearing. Calver on the volley back out in the direction of Bayou. He does win it. Down for Shrivers. Inside for White. And back for Coyne. 5-minute spell. 3-minute spell for South Melbourne. Couldn't quite capitalise. And now it's Hume looking to return that, potentially with some interest as well. Calver forward. Coyne. Loads of space now on the right-hand side. Ball into the box. In the path of Bingham. Again. Got his head onto that cross. He couldn't quite direct this anywhere to make or to force Javi Lopez into a save. And Mikola combined with Pasquale to see South Melbourne away. Bernarda couldn't quite win one or two 50-50s. And couldn't quite win the throw either. Again, the threat from the right-hand side in particular with those balls into the box. Cador, Aedis, and on that occasion it was Aidan Coyne. Seems to be isolating Jordan Lampard on that side. Aaron Cox potentially not doing his defensive due diligence. And it's reaping a lot of success now for the home side, but they haven't been able to put the ball into the back of the net. There's Aedis now. Short ball, and that ball coming straight through, nearly hitting the camera, which would have been an interesting result.
So Bay's come across to this right-hand side now. Payne Andrews was given the instructions to just follow him around everywhere. Didn't matter if he was tucking inside or going out wide. Struggling to shake him free, so swapped flanks now with the deuce.
Jankovic down, Lampard. Maybe they can find a little bit more success through Bayou on this near side.
Well, Adus was actually doing a good job on that, right? But obviously Bayou's the threat for Hume.
$11 goals for Bayou this season. That is an incredible return. 5 in his last 3 games, including a brace against Avondale.
He only played 10 minutes last week and still managed to find the back of the net.
He's a man in fine form. Don't want to give him a yard of space. And I guess that was the instructions. Peyton Andrews doing a pretty good job locking him down, but maybe this flank switch can provide something as he's looking to press down the ball from White. Jankovic doing well to get it back to his goalkeeper and to get it back from him. Short for Cox, inside for Lampard, back there for Jankovic. Inside looking for Bernarda, coming across White. Inside for Coyne, ball out wide for Adus. Can he track it down? He can, but Peyton Andrews doing well. Not well enough, but on the second attempt does well. To see out the immediate danger as Steve White makes his way back to his feet after a very heavy collision. He's picking up the ball now inside for Coyne. Back for Calva. Bayou floating centrally, but it's Coyne on this near side. Interesting the position Bayou occupying there, more directly behind Bingham, maybe just trying to find some way to get him involved into the game perhaps.
Yeah, they've really locked him down this afternoon in South Melbourne.
White, Bingham, Adus. Bingham on the far side, getting it back, and the ball into the box is not bad. Maybe the wind held it up a little bit. Over the head of Javi Lopez for a goal kick.
They're finding it difficult to break them down at the moment, aren't they, Hume City? Just a lot of balls into the area. They've had a little bit of joy with it, but in terms of just trying to get in behind and use their pace, they've set up really well, South Melbourne, to deal with that.
A lot of creativity on the bench, as we've mentioned, with Engelhardt and Curter. Curter 6 assists, Engelhardt 2 assists so far this season. So they're going to be relying on players like Tsukamoto, perhaps Aidan Coyne breaking forward, Adus as well, to really provide something and replicate the output to as big as an extent as they can. As Mikola now with the long throw. Does this one go long into the box? They have the representation there if it does. Jankovic and Yanakopoulos. That's where it does head. It's short to the feet of Uchida and looking for the return ball to Pasquale. The intent there was pretty good, just the execution on the pass couldn't quite manufacture something, but it's back out for another chance for Mikola to launch this one into the box.
It was a long throw routine, which I've never seen before.
More traditional long throw into the box this time from Mikola, cleared away at the near post by Cador. Pasquale back for Mikola, turning away from Tsukamoto brilliantly, and the left-footed effort forces Oldfield into a great save down low to his left. Tries to win it in the 50-50 between him and White. White doing well and maintaining possession brilliantly. Worked himself into a bit of danger, turning inside and out and clearing out for a throw. So a big chance there for South Melbourne.
How many times have we seen Mikola do that throughout the years? Pick up that second ball off his own long throw, fake that cross, and then make his way into the area and take a shot.
St Andrews, Mikola, Pasquale. Representation in the box if they want to get a delivery into it. That's where St Andrews goes. There for Uchida or Jankovic. Neither could get any meaningful connection. And it's back out for a goal kick.
You serious there?
How much time do you think Hume would have put into the long throws from Mikola? It's always an interesting talking point whenever, depending on whoever South Melbourne do come up against. It's not just a token long throw; it does cause some damage from him.
When it first started becoming prominent, we used to spend a fair bit of the week just working on that.
Lampard forward. We'll come back to that in a moment. Cox isolated with Cador. Cador doing well. A slightly loose touch from Cox, but winning it back and making his way into the box. Touch just away from him. Disubay maybe got the touch to see it out.
You would say clubs now are fairly used to it, but you do still need to recognise that threat. You know, they've scored so many goals from his throws over the years.
Coming into the final 10 minutes of the first half, which has been relatively even on the balance of things, but maybe the home side have had the two clearest and biggest chances of the afternoon. Javi Lopez forced into two brilliant saves. There's another opportunity now for South Melbourne to have a foray forward. Andrews, short for Pasquale, catching Hume off guard a little bit. Inside for Mikola, turning away from White, but White putting a foot in brilliantly. Menelau, Yanakopoulos, all the way back for Jordan Lampard. Tries to play that ball out wide for Pasquale. Adul's coming across and winning it well. Panta Andrews. Bernarda dropping deep. Has been relatively unsighted this afternoon. Can he get involved? Loose pass, turns it over for White, who lets out of danger brilliantly. He tries to do that searching ball out wide. But the numbers flooding back for Hume, unable to recover quickly. Menelau, Lampard in the middle of the park, turning away from Bayou. Peter Andrews drifting back into an onside position. Inside for Mikola, whose ball had too much juice on it for Lampard on the far side.
It's a very uncharacteristic mistake from Mikola. But yeah, Bernardo's just been very isolated this afternoon up top by himself. Hasn't had much support from Yoshida.
Not a natural number 9, perhaps. He's played a lot of his football for South Melbourne out wide on their right-hand side. Jordan Swiggle on the bench this afternoon.
Has played that central role a few times for South, though, with a bit of success as well. I'm sure we'll see Swiggle come on at some point in that second half.
Peter Andrews searching diagonal ball, looking for Cox, and the wind potentially helps him out and wins it off Cador. Ball across the face, cleared away only as far as Pasquale on the edge. Slicing effort, well and truly wide.
Needed to take a touch there, Pasquale. Underestimated the way that ball was travelling towards him. But again, Cox managing to get him behind.
Pace on this left-hand side. It's a constant threat, and his battle with Cador today has been exhilarating to watch, to say the least, as the looping ball from Lampard doesn't find any blue shirt. A lot of very intriguing individual battles. Cox, Cador, now it's Bayou and Lampard on this right-hand side. Bingham and seems to be Yanakopoulos who's been the one to go to him in these aerial duels, as another example of it there. Goes over the head of both of them. Jankovic sweeping up just behind. Pasquale picking it up. Turning away from Tsukamoto. Yanakopoulos, loose pass, gives Bayou a chance. Massive chance here for the home side. Bayou turns back onto his left. Coming to a standstill and tries to play it out wide for Cador, but a massive chance gone begging, and South Melbourne out of danger in a big way.
Kicking himself, Bayou, that he didn't just keep driving at the goal. He's got pace to burn. Just needed to keep carrying it, back himself to beat. Jankovic 1v1. Yanakopoulos did well to come across and just hold him up.
He's been in fine form at this Bayou, and you'd expect him to do better there, but a chance now for South Melbourne. Cox breaking into the box, left foot across the face, blocked immediately by Calver, but they worked that well. Diag across, overlapping run, very clean and efficient build up.
It's becoming a bit of a big issue for Hume as this game continues. Coda just getting exposed by Cox time and time again every time South's attacking. Just needs to probably adjust his positioning a little bit.
We'll take the corner that he earns. Short ball inside for Mikola. Back out for Cox on the edge. Lampard! The flag was up on the return pass from Cox regardless, but that's the second ball that's gone over that fence that I don't think it's coming back anytime soon. And that one in particular, because that went miles.
Yeah, it's a big valley down there. Need a bigger fence behind that goal, Hume City.
Short corner routine nearly paid off.
Yes, but you see the disadvantages of it, Ari. You know, you put yourself in a position like that and it's offside.
Lampard. Searching ball. Mikola, Shrivers racing back towards goal. Mikola doing well to push Shrivers all the way back. And winning a throw on the far side, he does. So South Melbourne really ascending themselves into the game in the shadows of half-time.
Taylor Shrivers, he's very good defensively, obviously a natural centre-back, but they just lose a bit of the way they attack with him in that position. He obviously doesn't have that pace to burn like they usually do, whether it's Adis or Adus. Deuce playing up more forward position this afternoon without Engelhardt.
Andrews ball in. Cleared away. Bayu, beautiful touch. Tsukamoto and the searching ball out wide for Adus. He's good. Lampard coming across. Had to win that one-on-one battle and did. Otherwise, the home side were out.
It's really good defending by Lampard. He recognised that ball was going in that direction very, very early and started making that run back before that ball was even played. Just wonder if Addison Bayou's fully fit at the moment. Started on the bench last week and only got 10 minutes. Just doesn't look like he's moving around like his usual self this afternoon.
Will be one to watch in the second 45 for sure. Menelau stepping in front of Tsukamoto, winning the ball for Mikola. Central position now for Max Mikola. Almost coming to a walk before he plays the ball to Cox, then gets it back to him. And now for a cheater. Tries to touch it down, but Coyne punishes the loose touch and can drive it forward. Pursued by Cox. Cox doing well to shepherd him back. Now for Calva. White. Back for Calva. Cador option short. There's a ball in behind for Tsukamoto. He's good. Punishes the inverted position of Lampard, but just ran out of real estate on the near side. So a constant trend, those balls in behind on that right-hand side, looking to catch Lampard. Cox, Menelau out of position in a sense. Fourth official indicates 1 minute of added time in his first 45. As Coyne's headed straight back up. Cador doing well, winning it forward for Bayu. Closed down by Bernardo and Uchida. The throw in virtually on halfway. Nearly a moment of madness there from Braden Spink letting the ball run. But doing well to clear up. Jankovic. Ball straight up the middle. Bernardo flicking it on. Mikola controlling with his chest. Laying it back out. Intended for Bernardo, but picking it up was Lampard. Closed down by Bayu. Short for Cox. Try to turn away from Bayu and does, but Tsukamoto coming across. Getting a foot in and winning it. Back out for White. And Adus now. Last involvement of the first half. And an intriguing battle to say the least. The home side probably two of the better chances in the half. But South Melbourne have provided some threats going forward, particularly with the pace of Aaron Cox here on this left-hand side. What will the messages be from both gaffers in the rooms, Ivka?
Hume probably to move the ball a bit quicker. They've been a little bit slow with their ball movement. It's not suiting them when they're attacking. South probably to be a little bit more connected when they're going forward as well. Looks a little bit disjointed at times. Hume will be kicking themselves that they haven't taken the lead in this one. In a couple of really good opportunities, but it's all to play for in the second half.
Massive 45 coming up on the Senol NPL Victoria YouTube channel. It's half time here in National Stadium. Hume City 0, South Melbourne 0. kick-off here at Nasiel Stadium for the second half between South Melbourne and Hume City. Scores still locked at a goalless draw. Yvka, thoughts on the first half? Changes both teams could be making, potentially tactically, personnel-wise, to get their ascendancy into this one?
Look, you'd expect to see Swibble come on shortly for South Melbourne and Hume. Well, they've got Engelhardt and Kurta to come on at some point. Not sure how fit both of them are, but I'm sure they'll be able to make an impact. O'Kane as well. They're starting to come back with some minutes. So there's some big changes that can be made for both teams, really.
Both sides needing a win for different reasons. For those who've just joined us, Hume with a victory today will go top spot for the time being, pending the result in the Oakley game later this round. And South Melbourne teetering on the edge of the finals places. Obviously rotated sides across the last month due to the OFC Pro League fixture congestion, but now that has come and gone, they need to start picking up the wins quickly.
Yeah, it really took a big impact on them in the NPL, didn't it? They were sitting pretty on top of the table before they departed for the month of May. And then some heavy defeats. 4 heavy defeats in a row. And the goal difference really took a big swing.
It was 4-0 against Avondale, 4-0 against Caroline Spring George Cross, 4-0 against Heidelberg in the last 3 weeks. But potentially the most disappointing loss in the recent times for South Melbourne is the 2-1 defeat to Melbourne City, which disappointing for the reason that it was their first team that showed up at Lakeside on that night. And to drop points in a game like that, considering they knew that they would have the fixture congestion, very disappointing. So another potential reason as to why they need to start getting a hurry on with those wins.
Yeah, that was the one that cost them a little bit. That was the last full-strength South Melbourne that we've seen. I would have been banking on winning that one.
.6 place for the away side. Like you mentioned, they were sitting pretty top of the table, top 2, top 3 sort of areas in the first third of the season. Fixture congestion has led to them dropping places and goal difference, more importantly perhaps. The Shrivers now. First real attack on offer for Hume, potentially in this first half. Mikola winning it back. Better Dulce now. Back for White. In for Tsukamoto, couldn't quite get there. Jankovic. Deft touch there for Menelau, and Pasquale can break forward. Bernarda, who was relatively unsided in the first 45, playing in that number 9 role, potentially isolated. So they're going to look to get him into the game at some stage, you'd think. He's a real kind of barometer for them, energy-wise, morale-wise. He's a exuberant character, and when he's up and about, it just does wonders for the team morale, for the team energy. Menelau dropping deep for Yanakopoulos, rather, occupying or deputising rather in the centre half role today with some outs. Jacob Iliopoulos with an injury in the OFC Pro League final sees him out of the squad. Cox driving it, Kota Kador sliding in brilliantly and winning it forward for Bayou. Coin across the face of goal for Spink, picking it up inside for Tsukamoto, who has yardage of space to work with, but coming across there brilliantly was Menelau. Mikola, Pasquale, almost coming to a stop as he receives the ball inside for Bernarda, turning away from Calvar, and referee says foul.
Could have been a costly error by Tsukamoto to turn in the central corridor and lose possession.
First set piece of the second half. Aerial threats are plenty for both sides. Aaron Cox now will be over it. Verdus, the counter-attack threats for Hume if they can recover the ball quickly. Jankovic at the back post. Not that far away from shooting range from Aaron Cox, and he looks to be going for that option perhaps. On the referee's whistle Aaron Cox over the set piece. Going for goal. It's getting well and truly underneath it.
Completely ignoring the instructions from Sam Pittakidis there. He was indicating he wanted a dinked ball across the face.
Almost have to hit the target at least from that area. Potentially a goalkeeper error could potentially lead to something, but setting it high and potentially wide as well in that area is just borderline inexcusable.
It's a bit different from Hume City, having the courage to try and play through that extremely high press from South Melbourne from their goal kicks. Probably that wind is favouring the way they're attacking slightly. You're right, it is a bit blustery, but it does seem to be heading in that direction towards their attacking end. So it probably gives them a little bit more safety to be able to just hoof it long if they get into trouble.
Well, do you know the target of Bingham? He's a man mounted up front, and they have the pace to work off him as well. It's Pasquale away from Tsukamoto, and the ball into the channel through Cheetah, but Spink climbing, rising high against his former side. Yanakopoulos. Jankovic now. Ever so composed on the ball. Mental out. So continuing to drop deep in between those two centre halves as they split out wide is Cox. Brilliantly. Getting past Cador on that far side and tries to, with the outside of the foot pass into the box, couldn't find the target, Lampard. The Cheetah, stepping in front was Spink. Out for White, one more for Adus, who does well to recover a relatively loose pass. And a quick counter-attacking opportunity just fade away, but they maintain possession. There's the high press from South Melbourne, forcing them to potentially go long, but Cheetah gets it back to Mikola, who won the turnover. Held up by Shrivers. Cheetah, ball into the box in the direction of Bernarda, who couldn't quite get any contact towards goal. And it's Yanakopoulos now. Back out for Mikola. Turning inside and out, double teamed in a sense. Yanakopoulos tries to find Pasquale in that half-space channel, and Adur's turning away from Yanakopoulos and earning a foul.
Smart foul by Yanakopoulos, was a long way away from home. Adus would have been away then. I feel like Hume's dropped off a little bit to allow South Melbourne to keep the ball a little bit more so they can try and pinch it off them in those dangerous areas.
That high press. They need to time it right to get that turnover, and those turnovers high in possession, especially in central areas, always are dangerous. Tsukamoto now wins the second ball off the Bingham header towards Adisa Bayu. Couldn't quite get the second touch off his chest under control. It's Menelau. Yanakopoulos. Pasquale all the way back for Lopez. Peter Andrews occupying almost like a second striker position now, just forward of the play. So a real, almost asymmetrical, inverted build-up play formation, as it's Mikola dropping deep towards Peter Andrews, but White stepping in front, and the ball from Shrivers in the direction of Bingham, and had Bayu through, and a late lunging tackle high with the studs. And it's the South Melbourne captain Marko Jankovic clutching at his knee. The first card of the day showed to Josh Bingham.
Yeah, I don't think there was any intent there from Bingham. He did win win the ball, but his foot just kept travelling and Jankovic has just clattered straight into it. A yellow card probably fair for a little bit of recklessness from Bingham, but there's not much he could have really done. Had all intent to play the ball, won the ball.
Always going to be punished when the studs are shown and they're high.
You can just see in that phase of play there the risk that South Melbourne's taking with pushing numbers very, very high, in particular Payte Andrews in that build-up play. A couple of centimetres and then in a different angle, and Josh Bingham wins that ball. Bayu was free on goal.
Those 50-50s in midfield are going to be the catalyst for either side, you think, to get a meaningful attack going. The pace that both sides have is the ball in behind looking for Cox, who shows his blistering pace to get there ahead of Calver and pick the ball up with a rifle cross. Deflected by Calver, show up in the air, cleared again by Cador. How was that for a run from Aaron Cox?
Yeah, you just get the feeling that he's the one that's going to make the difference for South Melbourne this afternoon.
Provided threat in the first half. Wasn't able to find that final pass into the box or that final cross or shot, but another example there of his blistering pacing behind that could and has provided a threat for the home side as Mikola driving forward now. Left-footed effort, not bad! Inches away.
Jeez, what an opportunity for South Melbourne. Mikola doing so well to create that space for himself. Again, like I said in the first half, we've seen him score goals like that numerous times throughout his career. Can't allow him that much space on the edge of the area.
Had Chris Oldfield almost praying that it went on the wrong side of the post. It did. Not by far, though.
Just loves picking up that ball in that central corridor, Mikola. If he's able to find that space. He only had one thing on his mind, is just drive at that goal and take a shot. I feel like his shooting is very underrated, Max Mikola's. A lot of the attention goes onto his long throws, but does have a very good strike on him.
He's come up with some clutch goals in the past, most famously against Preston last season. Probably wouldn't have scored many more goals as acrobatic as that one was. But it doesn't matter how they go in, as long as they go in. It's Bingham picking the ball up ahead of Yiannopoulos and winning the foul. Has been an interesting duel all afternoon.
Yeah, I would say Yiannopoulos is probably getting the better of Bingham outside that 18-yard box. A lot of the high balls and when Bingham's trying to hold it up, Yiannopoulos has done really well to win that battle. But inside the box, Bingham's gone close a couple of times. So here comes a bit of trouble for South Melbourne. Burkhard Kurta and Chris Engelhardt both being ready to come on.
The cavalry is arriving. Probably one of the more scary sights in NPL Victoria, especially this season.
It's probably the best two substitutes you'll see this season.
Ball over the top, Bingham chests it down for a douche. Runs onto his left, sliced effort across the face on the near side, but flag up on the far side regardless. As those changes will be made now, it is will they be made now?
Both players haven't realised that their numbers have gone up. Bingham's realised, but I don't think Tsukamoto.
Yeah, so it will be Josh Bingham making way, as well as Aki Tsukamoto, for Chris Engelhardt and Burkhard Kurta. And all of a sudden, there is a plethora of pace and threat in that Hume front line. Engelhardt, Adus, Kurta, Bayu.
Yeah, a bit of an adjustment too. Looks like Adus has gone centrally. Kurta playing off him. This probably suits them a little bit better, Hume. Just probably more of a similar type of player to Bellet.
Pant Andrews. Up the line for a cheater. Shriver's winning it. Out for a throw, which Pant Andrews is looking to play quickly and does in the direction of the cheater. Couldn't quite get there ahead of Shriver's. Pasquale and Coyne in a one-on-one. Back out for Bernardo on this near side, turning away from Spink brilliantly, but the counter-attack is on, and it's Chris Engelhardt. His first involvement in the game. Has Bayu on the far side, has a deuce in the channel, turns inside and out. Jankovic stepping forward and winning that battle, and had to. But the threat is not dealt with yet. Kurta now picking the ball up, cutting inside onto his left. This time it was Menelau with the all-important foot to nullify that attack. Lampard clearing up the line. Bernardo dropping deep. Pasquale. And the back line can breathe for a moment. Jankovic picking it up and playing it forward.
South Melbourne probably a bit fortunate that was Chris Engelhardt's first touch off the ball. He's just such an intelligent player. You can see where he's picked up that ball. Knows where to be on a football pitch. That's the difference. Deuce was doing an okay job, but it was just getting sucked in, tracking back, going forward. Engelhardt knows when to cheat a little bit and pick up the ball in a more dangerous area.
Lopez getting involved in the build-up play a little bit more in this second half rather than the first. Menelau. Both centre halves splitting very, very wide. And it's the fullback of Lampard occupying a central position, which Cox could have used but ignored into the channel for a cheater, looking to flick the ball onto himself, but Spink good enough to read that and to clear. In collaboration with Oldfield, Giannakopoulos taking it down under the pressure of Bayu, our wife and Pater Andrews. Just keeps the ball in play, does he? Running out of real estate by millimetres. A risky tactic in possession, especially in the passive state of possession when Lopez and Menelau are the two deepest, with the centre-back splitting very wide, looking to potentially get their more attacking players in creative areas.
Just then off the ball, Jankovic just made a 30-yard run to try and press Coyne in the middle of the park. That's a little bit unnecessary, I would say, because if they're able to get out of this press, Hume, they've got so much space to run it.
High risk, high reward. Play with fire could get burnt, but they've been good enough so far today to nullify any danger as Menelau combines with Bernarda. In for Pasquale, out for Mikola. Chance for South Melbourne now on this right-hand side. One-on-one with Shrivers. Max Mikola turns on his left. Dinks the ball into the back post. Cox rising. Cleared away by Calva. Cador there with Lampard, but the flag is up. On the near side, much to the dismay of the South Melbourne technical area.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. We've had a little bit of build-up play and then just the cheap offside. They've been more aggressive this second half, South Melbourne. You can see Cox and Mikola aren't really dropping back to form that back six that they had in that first half.
Lampard inside for Pasquale all the way back. Giannakopoulos. Closed down by Adus. So off the bench for Hume, they just introduced 8 assists for the year and 6 goals. Talk about firepower with Kurta and Engelhardt. Engelhardt been involved in the play like he is now, with his second real involvement, the ball for Adus, not quite what he was after. And Kurta, despite being relatively unsighted as he's made his way into the pitch as Giannakopoulos nearly turned the ball over in a dangerous area. All Burke and Kurta needs is one real half chance. He's shown it time and time again that he doesn't need to have that much volume to be effective. And that's potentially the danger as the clock ticks away. The later in the game, the more desperate both sides might get for a goal. You want your best players and most creative players on the field. Jankovic's ball, then allow Pasquale. Has Uchida in the channel and uses him. Does the flag stay down? It does. Uchida. Cox. Engelhardt and Cador double team. Cox away from Engelhardt brilliantly. And the right foot effort all the way! A cross-come shot. Floating over the head of Chris Oldfield, right into the bottom corner. And against the run of play, Aaron Cox finds the breakthrough.
I don't think that was a cross-come shot, Ari. I think that was very intentional by Cox. Did it really well to use that tricky footwork to get around Engelhardt. He had a look and saw where Chris Oldfield was, backed himself that he was going to be able to find the back of the net. We said he looked like the most likely player to cause a threat for South Melbourne. He's proven that. Great finish. Probably against the run of play a little bit as well for South Melbourne.
A massive moment in this one. The away sides find the breakthrough through unorthodox means, but I don't think they'd care one bit.
Now it's going to be an interesting tactical battle. Hume's going to have to open themselves up a little bit more, be a bit more aggressive.
He's first of the season in the league, Aaron Cox, and what a way to do it.
Scored some bangers in that OFC Pro League during that competition. That's where he probably got a lot more game time in that competition. But it's just looked dangerous all afternoon for South Melbourne.
Already registered 4 assists in the league this season. Wasn't able to get on the score sheet until today. And now the home side have it to do. They've brought the cavalry on. And now they're going to have to fight from underneath. As it's Curta over this set piece in a dangerous area, especially with the wind factor. Bayu at the back post. Calver there as well as Shrivers in that area. Cleared away on the edge, only as far as Adus. Mikola stepping in front, clearing the ball. And going down behind play, but Uchida driving it forward now. And it's Bernarda, and the space opens up for Noel Bernarda. Breaking away of Aiden Coyne. Running towards the penalty area, and the ball across the face, looking for Cox on the far side. Cleared away, and Bayu doing brilliantly to get away from Uchida. Forward for Shrivers. Adus, slightly loose touch, punished by Peter Andrews, Uchida, Pasquale, Yanakopoulos, Menelau. But it seemed like the seas parted there for Bernardo to just keep going. Potentially running out of legs. Aiden Coyne did brilliantly to maybe hold him back a nudge, a fraction of a second.
Yeah, I was just watching that back. I felt like he could have kept on going, Ari. Had still a bit of space to run into. Maybe you're right, he just must have run out of legs. Miklo looks like he's in a bit of pain though.
There was an incident off the ball. I think it might have been with Burke and Curta, perhaps.
He's very slow to get back to his feet.
Still feeling the effects of that one. There's a loose ball from Yanakopoulos. Can be punished by Bayu. Just couldn't quite get the ball out from under his feet. And Pasquale doing well here for Mikola. Seems to be recovering as he gets more involved. Painter Andrews looking for the diag ball right into the back of Unim Adus. And Curta now. Back for Coyne. Calver. Space. He looked to have a shot. Back out for Engelhardt. Cador. Tries to slip it through the lines. Maybe to his centre half, but cut across. Play restarts all the way back for Braden Spink, who is the last man back for Hume as they look to play forward. Coin.
Hume need to avoid getting into these situations where they've got so much control of the ball. It's virtually impossible to break the South Melbourne defence down when they're set up like this. Just got numbers everywhere.
Bernarda holding the ball up, playing it back for Cox, in through Cheetah, back towards Bernarda, and now a chance is arising for the away side. Cox, the goal scorer moments ago, and a genuine rugby tackle. As Noel Bernarda found himself staring at the sky through a body slam from Aaron Calver. That is something we don't see often.
No, it's very bizarre. More suited for a WWE Raw manoeuvre there.
That's textbook technique. that's yeah. There you go. Cheetah looking to counter-attack, but the foul on Dakota by Yannikopoulos is punished. Normally, I think if you describe a potential body slam incident with Bernarda, you'd expect him to be the one dishing it out. Such the character that he is, but he wouldn't have. I'm not sure he would have been too best pleased being on the end of that coin. Look at the drive forward now through Cador. Recovering there was Cox as the ball from Yannikopoulos too heavy for a Cheetah. As a change is being prepared on this near side for South Melbourne. Jordan Swiggle will be introduced. That change will be imminent, you think. Engelhart chests it down into the path of Kerdar. Adus back onto his left. Cador across the face. Benkovic clears on the edge, and the effort is not bad from Steve White. And another brilliant save by Javi Lopez.
That's really good goalkeeping from Lopez. That ball was travelling from White. It's a very difficult save to make, especially when you're on your line. You're moving backwards. It's excellent goalkeeping from Lopez.
His third world-class save of the afternoon has kept South Melbourne in the game and will attempt to keep them in the lead as he looks to deal with his set piece from Kerdar. Ball into the near post, flicked on, and it's in from Braden Spink. Against his former side, his first of the season.
It's a great delivery from Kerdar. Jeez, Braden Spink did so well there. Check his movement. He's just moved back a couple of steps. Got there first. Great header to the near post. Lopez, no chance there. It's the difference Burkhan Kerdar can make. He's a very dangerous delivery on him. Hume will be bored by that. Looked like it was going to be a frustrating afternoon for them.
His 7th assist of the season, Burkhan Kerdar. As it looks to be a change for both sides. Noel Bernarda making way for Jordan Swibble. And Kota Cador, who looks to seem to be limping. Hopefully that is not any major damage there. Making way for Josh Wilkins. The 32-year-old WA boy will take his place at right back, and there will be another change for South Melbourne. Max Mikola shaking his head as he makes way for James Lackey.
Not a happy camp at Mikola. I wonder if it's more frustration at probably a slight injury that he's picked up.
3 personnel changes between either side as the final 15 minutes of this game is set to be huge. Both sides needing a win for different reasons. It was Aaron Cox's floating effort over the head of Chris Oldfield to give the away side the lead, and then moments ago, Braden Spink with a beautiful flicked-on header at the near post, equalising as Lackey. First involvement for the afternoon. Inside ball for Pasquale is good, and Uchida now, big chance, into the box, across the face. Spink doing his defensive efforts now to deflect the ball out for a corner.
It's two handy substitutions for South Melbourne as well. Lackey with a fair bit of pace to add to that forward line, and then Swibble, obviously a lot more energy than Bernardo. Looked completely gassed towards that last 5 minutes he was on the pitch. I feel like this game's still got a few twists and turns left in it.
There will be drama. Well, there hopes to be drama anyway. Lampard over the set piece. Ball low across to Uchida, who lets it run all the way, and it was Lackey who was the closest man to it, but couldn't quite find anything there as Engelhardt turns on a dime and plays the ball brilliantly out for Burkett-Kurta, takes it under control, turns back onto his left, loses his footing, still a chance now for Burkett-Kurta, back onto his right, tries to slip the ball through for Edus, but couldn't quite. A massive chance goes begging there for the home side.
Just didn't need to second guess himself there. Kurta didn't really get full control of that ball. Fantastic switch of play by Engelhardt. Kurta, his first touch was just a little bit better. Just lost his footing in the end. Big moment missed by Hume City. You can see how quickly they shift defence to attack when they win the ball in the right area.
White, Bayou, Pantandrew's big job to defend him now, across the face, and it was Kurta who was making the late run into the box, just fraction too late. Now it's Shrivers now to restart play with the throw on the near side. The pace in transition is providing danger once again. Bayou does well, turning inside it out. Pasquale and Menelau do well to see out the danger. But Uchida's loose pass, White, Engelhardt, turning away from Pasquale, turning away from Uchida, as he overlap from Shrivers and uses him. Chance to get the ball into the box, the dinking delivery. Had Javi Lopez worried for a moment, but the wind carried it over for a goal kick.
Now you can see why South Melbourne was avoiding getting into those transitional situations, especially now that Engelhardt's on the pitch. That ball through to Kurta was pinpoint.
Pantandrews, long ball up for Swibble. First real involvement since his introduction. Couldn't quite win the header ahead of Braden Spink, who has been enormous today. Calva. The dynamic of youthful exuberance and the composed nature of the experience Aaron Calva is proving to be more than handy for Hume, both in attack and in defence. Calva with 2 goals himself this season. The ball forward now. Just couldn't quite get there ahead of Jankovic. Giannakopoulos. Iffy pass back to Lopez, who wasn't happy with it. And the high press from Hume's quick and dynamic front line is causing some danger.
Showing his experience there, though, Lopez. Most keepers would come out 100 miles an hour, kick it into that pressing player. Just no nonsense, just kick it out for a throw in, start again.
Another change for South Melbourne. Alex Menelau makes way for Andrew Mezzaruni.
It'll be a bit of a tactical adjustment for South Melbourne as well. We imagine they'll be going two up top now.
Swibble turning away from Shrivers, winning the foul.
Not going to die wondering, are they, South Melbourne? Really going for these 3 points.
Seems to be maybe more of a traditional approach in a sense. Obviously, Menelau was the man dropping in between the 2 centre halves. But now it looks to be slightly more by the book. Pasquale, the one dropping in that defensive midfield role. to aid in build-up, but the high press from Hume causing a bit of danger for South Melbourne, but they work their way out of it brilliantly as the ball from Yiannopoulos finds Swibble, and they can turn on a dime for the ball out wide for Lackey. James Lackey tries to head it past Taylor Shrivers and win the one-on-one duel. Forward for Peter Andrews, but coming across Engelhardt, doing really well to track back and get away from both men and leave them in a heap, but turning the ball over. Yiannopoulos, Lackey, Peter Andrews, ball into the box, looking for Swibble, cleared away by Spink, rushed by Shrivers. Uchida tries to get it down, couldn't quite. Lampard now cries for handball, go ignored. On the far side, Cox. Lampard, Pasquale ignores a return pass all the way back for Lopez. 10 minutes to play, plus at a time. We are set for a grandstand finish here at Nasiel Stadium. Jankovic. Lopez, far more involved in the initial stages of build-up play in this half. More so now with the substitution of Menelau. Painter Andrews, inside for Lampard, occupying a very central position, combines with Mezzaruni brilliantly. Couldn't quite find the return ball, and Wilkins does a 360 once he heads the ball, back out for Coyne, turning away from Mezzaruni, but not away from Pasquale and winning the foul.
Smart foul again, just stopping that play. They're the areas that Hume want to win the ball and break quickly.
Rushed clearance. The path of Mezzaruni. Couldn't quite combine with Swibble. Kurta, loose touch, pressured from behind by Yiannopoulos. Turning away was Aidan Coyne as Hume can work themselves out of the danger. Engelhardt dragged down by Peter Andrews.
Taking a lot of courage, Hume City, to try and play through this press.
They've done it all afternoon, and they will be looking to continue to do that. As the ball from Shrivers up the line, looking forward to Sabayu, but coming across to Yiannopoulos. Lackey on the second ball, combines with Pasquale, and plays it in the middle for Jankovic. An urge to drive forward. Lampard looking for Cox, but just running out of real estate. Jankovic down. White doing well. Loose touch by Kurta, cleared away, and a tussle off the ball between Jankovic and Bayu. Jankovic goes down, referee ignores Pasquale. Picking the ball up, Yiannopoulos. Looking to play it inside for Mezzaruni, but picked off by Adus. Kurta and Yiannopoulos rather, and Yiannopoulos doing brilliantly to play it forward and win it on the ground, and the ball forward to Swibble is beautiful. Cox now on the right-hand side, one-on-one with Wilkins. Aaron Cox driving into the box, onto his right, into the box. Tumble in the box between Uchida and Calva. Lackey couldn't quite get anything towards goal. Does fall for Peter Andrews. Ball across the face. Swibble takes it down. Spink out for a corner.
It looks dangerous, Swibble, doesn't he? It's getting into the right areas on the ball. And he's got that ability to just turn and get in behind as well. Starting to become a bit of a handful for this Hume City defence. That movement all started from that tackle from Yiannopoulos. What a challenge that was. And the ability to play that ball forward still virtually on the ground.
Change imminent for both sides, but in the meantime it will be a Jordan Lampard delivery into the box. Swibble to near post, couldn't quite get a flick, and it's back out for a corner. Lampard again, in the shadows of stoppage time. Low driven, Swibble, flicked on. No one there at the back post. Mezzaruni now looking to maintain possession. Pasquale, Adus, breaking forward, 3v1, now for the home side. Ball across the face for Engelhardt, slightly behind, gets it onto his right, just second guesses himself and fouled brilliantly by Painter Andrews. And a 3v1 chance on the counter-attack goes begging.
So, well, look, James Lackey to thank there. He got his head down and mowed it back. Got back just in time to stop that break. But Engelhardt just got that ball stuck under his foot.
Lackey pulled back blatantly by Steve White. Second yellow card of the afternoon to the central midfielder.
It's another big missed opportunity by Hume City, though. It's for the third time they've broken away like that, and it just hasn't come off for them.
Will be a double change for the home side. Munib Adus makes way for Frank Basassa, and Adisabayu making way for Josh Akane. And it will be Charlie Leach introduced for Yuki Uchida for the away side. Last roll of the dice for both teams. Basassa has the pace to get him behind. Josh Akane to provide something in a creative sense perhaps. And a wild card, Charlie Leach. Scored twice in the league this season. They would hope he can make it a third. Lampard's delivery. Decent depth on it. Back out for Lackey. On the edge of the box. Engelhardt. And White across the face from Lackey. Leach is there. And the flag is up for offside. First involvement couldn't quite be as impactful as what he would have wanted.
So another frustrating offside for South Melbourne. Weird areas they're getting themselves into these offside positions.
Looks to be a Kane dropping into that attacking midfield role. Basassa on that right-hand side, and almost Kurda playing a shadow striker, false nine. Roll. Over the head of Painter Andrews and Engelhardt. Kurda trying to win the ball back and winning a throw. Massive 50-50 balls in the shadows of full time here. Shrivers now. Has a Kane short. Couldn't quite. White. Back for Shrivers. Ball ran out of play. It almost feels like both sides would be displeased with the draw.
Yeah, you do get that feeling out there. They're both going for it. Hume obviously, fighting for that top spot and that automatic Australia Championship spot. And South, well, we know they need to get their season back on track. Draw does neither team any favours.
Lopez, long ball up. Mezzaruni, first time out wide for Cox, the goal scorer. Wilkins looking to press. But the experienced Josh Wilkins couldn't quite win out this time. Cox winning the ball back. Left foot across the face of goal. Cleared away by Calver. Pasquale's deft touch in the path of Lampard. And Yankovic will look to send them forward again through Lopez and Yiannakopoulos. 1 minute to play before stoppage time. Tom Yiannakopoulos, long ball into the channel, looking for Charlie Leach as he makes the running beyond. But too much juice on the pass for the number 88.
Still get the feeling that there's one big chance left in this game for either side.
Oldfield sends it long. Yanakopoulos unopposed wins the header. Leach couldn't quite turn away from Shrivers. Akane and Pasquale combine. White goes to ground after winning the header. Coyne tries to play it in the path of Engelhart. Couldn't quite find him. Shrivers again, down. In for White. Now for Curter. 3 minutes of added time now. Burke and Curter, closed down by Peter Andrews, but winning it back through his legs. In for a Kane. Virtual involvement coming off the bench. Curter skipping past Lackey. And a strong tackle from James Lackey. Was all fair, according to the referee. And time becoming a factor. Shrivers says, get in the box, boys, I'm launching this long. Shrivers' long throw. In the path of Calver. Too much juice for Aaron Calver. Had a fair effort on that.
I think it even surprised Taylor Shrivers himself how much distance he got on that.
Yankovic. Lopez. One last chance perhaps for South Melbourne. They're not trying to force it. Patient football, patient build-up. Yanakopoulos inside Leach. Turns on a dime. Tries to play through for Mezzaruni. Lampard coming across and colliding heavily with Basassa, but play advantage. Lampard looking for Swibble. Couldn't quite find him. Back out for Yankovic. Can he get the ball into the box? He can. Looking for Swibble. Just over his head. Out for Lackey. Just his touch got away from him. But keeps the ball in play. Cleared away by Spink. Forward Curter. Turning away from Yanakopoulos. And play continues. And the ball out wide. Searching for Wilkins. He's being brought back. A tick under a minute to go. And it seems that Hume aren't in much hurry.
Well, you'd say that they'll just be hoping to kill a couple of seconds here so that this final phase of play ends up in their attacking half.
It will be Chris Oldfield who sends it long. No Josh Bingham to aim for, so it's Engelhart. Couldn't quite rise high enough. And Painter Andrews doing well. Set it out for a goal kick. And he would have to be perfect from here, you'd think.
Yeah, that should just be about it, I'd say.
Yankovic long. Referee, whistle to his mouth. And it ends all square.
Hard-fought draw for both sides, really. On the balance of play, you'd say it's a fair result. Both teams really going for all 3 points, just neither able to unlock each other's defences. Really good tactical battle out there. But as we said during the call, draw does neither side any real favours in terms of table position.
It was Aaron Cox just after the hour mark with an audacious effort from range which found its way over Chris Oldfield and into the back of the net, only to be replied to with a beautiful header at the near post from Braden Spink against his former side, registering his first goal of the season, registering Burke and Curtis' 7th assist of the season. And it set up a grandstand finish. Anticlimactic as it was in the end, still provided us with enough drama and entertainment in this massive clash. It's been a tumultuous last 24 hours or so by now for South Melbourne. A point away against a very formidable opponent, potentially not the worst result in the world.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, Ari. It's probably a good response by the South Melbourne playing group. Could have fallen apart quite easily this afternoon for them, but they showed a lot of resolve. Sam Pudakidis obviously had a bit of a tactical plan and made some good adjustments at half-time as well. South Melbourne were a bit better in that second half, but given the last 24 hours they've all had to deal with, probably a draw is a good result for them.
Hume City see an opportunity to go top of the table for the time being bypassed. 3 points needed, 1 point got. Still sees them well and truly inside the top 3 of the Senol NPL Victoria ladder. It sets up a second half of the season which is well and truly in their hands in a sense. If they want it, they can go get it. They play good enough football. They've put the runs on the board to put themselves in this position. So potentially 2 points gone begging here at Naciel Stadium. Both sides wanting to win. They'll have to settle for a draw. It's full time here at Naciel Stadium. Hume City 1, South Melbourne 1.